This is lesson 312, vocabulary for signing naturally. We are going to learn a few time signs, minute, hour, day, etc. And we're also going to learn something called numerical incorporation. We've talked about negative incorporation, where like don't want, the don't part of it is already part of the sign. You don't sign don't and then want separately. Numerical incorporation is kind of the same idea. You just put the numbers right into the sign. Numerical incorporation in ASL reminds me a little bit of contractions in English, like saying can't instead of cannot. You just kind of squish it all together and it makes it go faster and convenient and make more sense. So, all right, let's start with minute. There are two ways to sign minute. Both of them have a one hand shape on your dominant hand. So start there. On your non-dominant hand, you can either do a flat hand shape and like imagine that it's a clock. All right, you're going to tick a minute, minute, minute. Or you can sign it, keep your dominant hand the same way, right? You can, instead of doing the clock face, you can just point to your wrist, minute, minute. The way that you do numerical incorporation with minute is you, instead of doing a 1 for the minute on your dominant hand, you do whatever the minute is. Like if it's 8 minutes, 8 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay. Now numerical incorporation only works for numbers 1 through 9. You can't do like 25 minutes. It's too complicated. Deaf people don't do that. So it's just numerical incorporation is numbers 1 through 9. So you can say 9 minutes, but then you have to say 10 minutes. Okay. The next sign is a sign for hour. So again, get your clock face up there on your non-dominant hand. You will have a one hand shape again on your dominant hand. Dominant's going to do the moving. And you can come around this way, or you can drop your whole wrist. Hour or hour. That also can have numerical incorporation. If you say, I'm going to come over to your house for the next 2 hours, or we're going to get together for 6 hours. Okay. Day. So you need on your non-dominant hand, the horizon. All right. Your dominant hand is going to have a one hand shape. It's going to sit on top. Your elbow is going to sit on top of your hand. And then your hand, you're on your dominant hand, is going to represent the sun. So the day is like the sun comes up and then it goes down. So that's the sign for day. Palm is pretty much facing you on your dominant hand. So incorporating numbers in days could be, my sister's coming to visit for 3 days. So instead of saying 3 days, I just say 3 days. Week. So again, a flat hand on your non-dominant hand. This time your palm is facing you, not really up, just you, like you're looking at it. Week is going to have a number 1 hand shape again. You can do this 2 different ways as far as palm orientation. So one is having both palms together, okay? And then you start at your palms and come out to your fingertips, okay? Week. Or you can turn your palms sideways, so it's pointing back towards your shoulder. Week. They're both correct. It's just a different way of pronouncing it. And that's week. So using numerical incorporation for week would be something like, we went to Hawaii for 2 weeks, or my friend is coming to visit in 8 weeks. Looking at my notes, did I have something else to tell you? No. Okay. The next sign is month. So 2 number 1 hand shapes this time. Your non-dominant hand will have your palm facing out. Your dominant hand will have your palm facing you, and then you turn it sideways. So they are perpendicular. They're not pointing in the same direction. Okay. So you want the backs of both fingers touching, backs of your fingers. All right. So month, you start at your fingernail, and then you go all the way down your finger. Month. So the way I like to think about that is, if I have, a calendar, there's a week here on my calendar, then there's another week, and then another week, and then another week, like right there, right? Week, week, week. So all the weeks makes a month. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, month. So here we go. Numerical incorporation in month looks like 3 months, 4 months, 8 months, etc. All right, so that's the vocabulary and the topic of numerical incorporation from lesson 312.